So I request everyone to please watch the video till the end. We are in the 4th chapter of Bhagwat Gita as it is, and the name of this chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Transcendental means which is beyond this material world. So this chapter is all about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Krishna. I am sure you must have surely watched all the previous videos of this chapter, but just in case you have missed out watching any one of them, then please do watch, as it is for our own benefit and we will have a better understanding as to what Krishna is actually telling us through his dearest friend Arjun. The shlok that we are going to study today is the most important because it is going to give us the key of the prison house where each one of us are prisoned. You must be thinking that where am I in the prison? I am living very comfortably in my house and enjoying my life. Now let's understand it from our dearest Guru, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says that this material world is only 1/4 of the spiritual world, which means we are all confined in the 1/4 portion and are not allowed to enjoy the bliss of the spiritual world. By now, we all know that we are not this material body, but we are spirit soul. And spirit soul is meant to enjoy the spiritual bliss. And we are in this material world where everything is temporary. Whereas in the spiritual world, everything is permanent. So, this is clear that we are spirit soul and should enjoy permanently because we are a part and parcel of Sat Chit Anand. But none of us are able to enjoy permanently here in this temporary material world. And this is the reason for our all kinds of frustrations and sadness. Srila Prabhupada explains to us very clearly that the way in every city there is a prison house where those people are kept who have broken the state laws and are locked in the prison house for taking punishment. These prisoners get clothes to wear, food to eat, but they do not have the freedom to come out of the prison house. The walls of the prison house is made deliberately very high so that the prisoners do not escape. These prisoners have to work very hard in the prison house, and in case they regret for their crime and behave very nicely, then their term of punishment gets shortened also. And only if the higher authority pleases, then the prisoner can be out of the jail. In the same way, each one of us are locked in this material jail where we feel that we are all enjoying, but actually we are all suffering here. And the real cause of suffering is this, that we being the spirit soul are locked inside the material body, and this material body gives us so much of pains and sufferings. Let's just try to understand the way Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us. Prabhupada says that there are 4 kinds of sufferings which each one of us are facing, and these sufferings are birth, old age, disease and death. Srila Prabhupada clearly says that the problem of money or any other social or political problem is actually no problem, because in this material world nothing is permanent and every situation changes with the time. But the problem of birth, old age, disease and death is for sure going to happen with everyone. Srila Prabhupada further says that the problem of old age, disease, and death still we understand a little bit, but no one seems to understand the sufferings and pains of birth. In Bhagavatam, canto number 3, it's clearly described the painful condition of the fetus who is locked in the womb of the mother, which is like a airtight compartment with no doors and windows. And moreover, inside the womb, it's all blood, urine, and stool all around the baby. And uncountable worms bite the soft skin of the baby. And the baby is hanging in the upside down position with two hands clasped in the mode of praying to Krishna to take it out of this hellish place. If you don't believe me, you can yourself read the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, and in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, it is mentioned the pains and sufferings of a dying person, where it seems as if thousands and thousands of scorpions are stinging. Prabhupada says that we spirit souls have to go through such painful and pitiable condition just because we are caged in this material body and are caught in the endless cycle of birth and death. Now in today's shlok, we are going to get the key by which we can break the cycle of repeated birth and death and get situated in our permanent place, which is the Golok Vrindavan Dham, which is the abode of Krishna, where there is no birth, no old age, no disease, and no death. Just imagine of a place where there is no death, so no birth. All are eternally living with beautiful young body. Now let's start today's shlok by first reciting the shloka. Chapter number 4, shlok number 9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma na eti mameti so arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjun that one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Here in today's shloka, Krishna is announcing it to each one of us that one who gets to know the transcendental nature or the divinity of Krishna's birth and all the activities which he does in this material world is surely not going to come back to this temporary world after leaving his present body, and is sure to go back to Krishna's abode, that is Golok Vrindavan Dham. Now let us read Srila Prabhupada's purport and have a better understanding of the shlok. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that in the previous verses, starting from verse number 6, Krishna is clearly telling to Arjun that he is unborn and indestructible. Still, he appears with his own internal powers, which is known as his Antaranga Shakti. Srila Prabhupada says that many people feel and believe that Krishna's advent and his activities are just like all other normal human beings. They are just unable to understand and believe that Krishna's appearance and all activities are on the spiritual platform. Srila Prabhupada says that the main cause of disbelief in these people is because of the sinful activities of their past and present life, and because of which they do not have any faith and belief in the scriptures. These people are envious and are called demonic people. For these people, it's very difficult to get out of the vicious circle of birth and death, because Krishna has clearly said that the people who understand the divinity of my birth and actions, they are not to come back to this material world. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma na eti mameti so Arjuna. And the people who do not understand and don't even want to understand, they will continue to get one body after other according to their past karmas, and will remain in this temporary material world which is so painful and full of sufferings like birth, old age, disease, and death. Srila Prabhupada says that we can see all these sufferings all around us, and it is high time that we must think of putting an end to these sufferings. Prabhupada says that it is very easy and at the same time very difficult to put an end to these sufferings of this material world. It is easy for those people who are the devotees of Krishna, who spend their entire lifetime in doing everything only to please Krishna. But it is very difficult and rather impossible for the people who don't have any faith and belief in Krishna. Further, Srila Prabhupada says that there is a category of people who are jnanis and yogis who spend their life in knowing about Krishna and practice many austerities, but after doing such troublesome activities, the jnanis reach only till the Brahman level, that is the Brahma Jyoti, and the yogis reach to a little more higher level, that is to the planets of the demigods. But after reaching to the Brahma Jyoti and the planets of demigods, still there is a possibility of a fall down. These jnanis and yogis acquire a higher place than the material world, but without the devotional practices, they are not secure. There is always a risk of fall down. So the moral is this, that without Krishna Bhakti, one will always return to this temporary material world. Srila Prabhupada clearly says that the most easiest way to get out of this prison of this material world is to devote oneself in the Krishna conscious activities, which begins with reading Bhagwat Gita, Bhagavatam, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and following the 4 regulative principles like no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illegal relationships. Now, a big question: how to become a Krishna conscious person? Because in today's world, a large number of people have become atheists, and they proudly announce themselves to be atheists. Atheist means who do not believe in the existence of God. Such people fail to see the superhuman activities of the Lord. For example, Krishna killed Putana when he was only 6 days old. Then he killed so many demons like Shaktasur, Trinavarth, Bakasur, Aghasur when he was only 5 years of age. Then he danced on Kaliya Nag and lifted the Govardhan mountain for 7 days and 7 nights on his little finger when he was only 7 years old. Then Lord Ram, he liberated Ahilya, who had become stone merely by the touch of his lotus feet. And then Lord Ram, when requested the ocean to give way to make the bridge to Lanka so that they could rescue Mother Sita, the demigod of ocean did not adhere to the request of Lord Rama. But the moment Lord Rama raised his eyebrow in anger, the ocean water started boiling immediately. This is the potency of the Lord. On the other hand, if all human beings of the world together look angrily at a glass of water, still the water will remain unaffected. This is the difference between the Lord and the ordinary people. But to understand this, we need to read the scriptures under the supervision of an able guru who is in the disciplic order of succession, like our dearmost Guru Srila Prabhupada, who is in the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya, and he appears on the 32nd number of the Guru Parampara, starting from Krishna on the top. Now, to conclude today's shloka, we need to understand clearly that when Krishna is himself saying that one who believes and tries to understand his birth and activities on this material world is sure to be liberated from the cruel clutches of endless birth and death, then we should surely believe Krishna and avail this rare opportunity of human birth for getting liberated after the destruction of this present body of ours. And even while being in this material body, one can attain liberation from the three modes of material nature, that is the tamogun, rajogun and satogun, and be permanently placed in the divine platform of Krishna Bhakti. So it's very loud and clear that a Krishna Bhakt, whether in the material body or not, is always liberated because nothing bothers him, as he is always absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord. The best examples are Tulsidas ji, Surdas ji, Mirabai, Sudama, Kunti, Draupadi, Shabri, Kevat, and many, many more devotees. These devotees were untouched by the sufferings of this material world, and after leaving their material body, they straight went to the Dham of Krishna, which is Golok Vrindavan Dham, which is the abode of Krishna, where there is always heavenly bliss. I'm sure each one of us have properly understood this very important shloka of Bhagwat Gita and will surely meditate on this. And we all want to do good to us, and this is a wonderful opportunity that we can get liberated from all kinds of material pains and sufferings. I thank Srila Prabhupada for making us understand the most secretive knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. And I thank my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Hari Mohan Prabhuji. I thank each one of you for patiently listening to the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. Please write your understanding in the comment box. Now we shall meet the next week, where Krishna is going to teach us how to stay away from all kinds of attachments, fear and anger. Please chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and stay connected with me so that together we make this rare human life a success. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.